There are several equations of a straight line that you should be familiar with. We'll take a look at how we find the equation of a straight line goes through 2 points. These are the 2 points that we'll look at. There are several methods that you could use, but the first thing that I will do is to find the gradient of the line that passes through the 2 points. So we know the gradient is given by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Substituting in the coordinate points then gives us a gradient of minus 3 over 3 or minus 1. If we now use the equation in the form y minus y1 equals m x minus x1, and we use either of the points, in this case I'll use the first point given, we find that y minus 2 equals minus 1 x minus 3. So the equation of the straight line is y equals minus x plus 5. There is an alternative method that you could use. Using the fourth equation that I've written on the right hand side, and using both of the points given, we can substitute the values of the points to give y minus 2 over minus 1 minus 2 is equal to x minus 3 over 6 minus 3. Therefore y minus 2 over minus 3 is equal to x minus 3 over 3. Multiplying through by minus 3 and cancelling gives us y minus 2 is equal to minus x minus 3, and again rearranging we have y equals minus x plus 5. Now we'll have a look at finding the equation of a straight line when we're given a point and a gradient. So we'll look at the point 3, 2, and the gradient of the line is 6. If we use the equation in the form y minus y1 equals m x minus x1, then we have y minus 2 is equal to 6 lots of x minus 3. Expanding and a little bit of rearrangement gives us y equals 6x minus 16. An alternative method that you could use is to use the equation in the form y equals mx plus c, and substitute in the values of x and y from the point that we're given. So we know that 2 is equal to 6 lots of 3 plus c, and so we can find the value of the constant, which is minus 16. Therefore the equation of the straight line is y equals 6x minus 16. If we're wanting to sketch straight lines, it's usually easiest to have the line in the form ax plus by plus c equals 0. So we'll have a look at the line 3x plus 4y minus 12 equals 0. We'll find the points on the coordinate axes that the line cuts through. So when x equals 0, that is on the y-axis, the equation becomes 4y minus 12 equals 0. And therefore y equals 3. On the x-axis, when y is equal to 0, the equation becomes 3x minus 12 equals 0, and therefore x equals 4. We now have 2 points on the coordinate axes that the straight line must go through, and we can draw a straight line that goes through both of these points. we also need to be able to work with perpendicular lines. So as an example, we'll try and find a line that is perpendicular to y equals 3x plus 9 and goes through the point minus 112. The first thing to remember is that if two lines are perpendicular, their gradients multiplied together to give us minus 1. So the line that we have has got a gradient of 3, and therefore the gradient of the line that is perpendicular to it must have gradient minus a third. Since it is a straight line, we can use any of the straight line equations that we looked at before, and if we put in the point that it goes through, we find that y minus 12 equals minus a third x minus minus 1, which I'll just tidy up a little bit to give us y minus 12 equals minus a third x plus 1.